So, all right. So we are recording. We have CNN 10. So yeah, in your docs, you should have something named CNN 10. Hit return a couple of times, and then put today's date, which is the 8th. Oh, I forgot your sucker question. We have a sucker. We have a couple of sucker questions today. The first one is: this is the 3rd week of school. By the time we reach Friday, we will be 1/3 of the way done with first quarter. So if we have 3 weeks of school and that's 1/3 of the first quarter of our school, how many weeks do we have left in the first quarter?
3?
Nope.
4?
Nope. 6.
6.
If 1/3 is 3 weeks, then we have 2 other thirds, which are 6 weeks. You're welcome.
Where do we go?
So you're going to CNN. You're going to CNN 10. Your CNN 10 doc. And what are the 2 things? Whoa. What are the 2 things that you should be looking for on your CNN 10 that you'll be writing about? We've done it. We've done it each time. Lily, what's 1?
Connected.
Okay, something that is of interest. There are 4 stories each time. All 3 of the main stories are actually not boring. And then what's the second thing? Go ahead and put your mask on correctly. Thank you, sir. What is the second thing that we are looking for? If you've got something that is of interest, what's the other thing we're writing about? Ooh, this is going to be a tough one because you still got to write about it. Cameron? What's the second that we're writing about? A story of our interest, something that we are interested in. What's the second thing we're going to write about? Nope.
The money part.
The money part of it, exactly. A story that deals with money. And so you're looking for those 2 things. The money story typically is a little more difficult for 6th graders. But as it is, you're looking for those 2 particular things. Now, can I present best with video? Because we want to go to CNN 10. All right. As you are watching this, please make sure that you're not doing the writing during this time. We'll have 5 minutes afterwards. All I want you to do, if you're going to do any writing, is that you can write down notes. Hey, this is something I need to remember for my writing afterwards. Yeah, I don't want to have you come through my Bluetooth speaker.
Disconnected.
Kicking off a 4-day school week after the Labor Day holiday. This is CNN 10, and I'm Carl Azuz. Welcome to everyone watching worldwide. If you're just now returning from a summer break, it's great to see you again. In the U.S. state of California, this gives you an idea of why the governor just declared a state of emergency. It applies to 5 counties in the central and southern areas of the state. That's where 3 wildfires are burning. They've chewed through tens of thousands of acres. They've forced thousands of people to evacuate, and they have destroyed some homes. Statewide, California has lost more land to wildfires this year than any other year on record. More than 2 million acres have burned in 2020. And though the state has a wildfire season, which typically lasts from the spring through the fall, it often hits its worst point in October and November. So fire officials are particularly concerned about that. Over the weekend, California broke temperature records that have stood since the 1950s. Though it's been cooler than average in the central part of the United States, areas of the West have seen sweltering heat waves, and that can make wildfires worse. In the state's hot, dry conditions, lightning strikes have been blamed for causing many of the wildfires, but a party where a type of firework was set off is responsible for one of the recent ones. In addition to the round-the-clock efforts of the firefighters, the State of Emergency Declaration will speed up help out in money to the residents who've been affected. Next story. There's an election coming up in America. You might have heard a little something about that. It'll determine all 435 voting seats of the U.S. House of Representatives. It'll decide 35 of the 100 seats of the U.S. Senate, and it'll determine who sits in the White House for the next 4 years. In most modern elections, Americans have gotten presidential results at some point on election night. Enough votes were tallied fast enough to make this happen. One prominent exception, of course, was in the year 2000 when the Florida recount delayed those results for weeks. Could concerns about COVID-19 and delays associated with mail-in voting keep Americans in suspense after November 3rd of this year?
Campaigning, fundraising, debates, more fundraising, two conventions, more debates, and finally, the vote. The U.S. presidential election happens every 4 years on the first Tuesday in November, but election day is really just the last step in a years-long process. It starts with the primary, when states vote on who should be the nominee for each political party. There are two major political parties that most Americans identify with, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. The Republican Party is considered to be on the right of the political spectrum, supporting positions considered more conservative, while the Democrats go on the left, supporting positions considered more liberal. Every summer, before the election, the two parties hold week-long events called conventions to officially select their nominee. Each state will send delegates to the conventions who act as representatives of the results from the primary.
50 votes for Secretary Clinton and 9 votes for Senator Sanders.
The candidate who wins the majority of those delegates then accepts the nomination. Even the sitting president has to be re-nominated by their party.
Congratulations, Dad! We love you!
But if he or she has already served 2 terms, they can't run again. Once the nominees are secured, it's on to the general election. Although the nominees may attack each other as they campaign, they won't actually face off until the debates a month before the election. When it's finally time to vote, there are three ways to do it. By mail-in ballot for those who can't make it to the polls, by early voting, which happens days or weeks before election day, and by going to the polls on election day. Historically, only about 50 to 60% of eligible Americans actually turn out to vote. In the United States, the candidate with the majority of the votes doesn't automatically win. The U.S. uses a system called the Electoral College, which gives states a certain amount of electoral votes. The amount of electoral votes a state gets is determined by how many representatives they have in Congress. If a candidate gets the most votes in a state, they get the electoral votes for that state, except in Nebraska and Maine, where they are awarded based on statewide and district results. You need 270 out of 538 electoral votes to become president. Some states have historically voted Republican and are called red states. Others have historically voted Democratic and are called blue states. Some states are swing states, which means voters have swung between Democrats and Republicans depending on the election year. In a normal year, if the election is a landslide, the results could get called shortly after polling stations close in the evening. But if it's close, candidates won't give their victory or concession speeches until the wee hours of the morning. If it's super close, candidates can request a recount in certain states. In 2000, Bush won the state of Florida by just about 1,700 votes. After a recount, it was only 327, and ultimately, the Supreme Court had to weigh in to certify the results. Because of COVID-19, mail-in voting is expected to increase, and states are facing challenges, like shortages of poll workers. It may take some states days or weeks to finalize their results. After all of that, the winner is sworn in the following January. And almost immediately, people start preparing for the next election.
10-second trivia. Which of these NASA missions was launched in 1977? Skylab, Galileo, Voyager, or Viking?
Which one?
2 unmanned spacecraft were launched as part of the Voyager mission in 1977. And both of them are still out there, farther away from the Earth than Pluto, still gathering info about the universe more than 40 years after they launched. The cost of the mission, when converted to today's dollars, is roughly $2 billion. And it's not just sending data back. The two spacecraft are also carrying info about Earth. Gold-plated copper discs with instructions for how to play them are also on board Voyager in case they're picked up by anything that wants to know about human life. Researchers say that's very unlikely. They compare the distance to a tiny message in a bottle thrown into the greatest expanse of oceans. But they include greetings in 55 languages, music, natural and man-made sounds. They also have pictures, snapshots of human life in the 1970s, including this one from the 1972 Olympics, a depiction of human sport through a foot race. And when CNN anchor Don Riddell caught up with the athletes in the shot, he found that some of them had no idea their images were floating in deep space. The voyage continues.
We could not have claimed to know what was in our own solar system until Voyager conducted its tour. It's Homeric Odyssey across the outer solar system.
People often describe it as one of mankind's greatest journeys.
It is certainly the farthest and the longest. Voyager was originally conceived as a tour of all the giant planets, because all the giant planets were aligned in 1977, and you could go from one to the other.
And that alignment was very rare.
That alignment happens once every 176 years. It ended up that Congress only approved the mission to Jupiter and Saturn. But the engineers and the scientists were very ingenious, and they designed and built the instruments to endure the flight to Uranus and Neptune, just on the off chance that the mission would be approved for that long. That's what happened. And it's remarkable to remember what we did not know about our own solar system. We knew nothing about the structure of Saturn's rings. We knew very little about its atmosphere. Neptune is 30 times farther away from the sun than the Earth. And even in the most powerful telescopes at the time, it was just a small dot of blue. Its famous picture, the pale blue dot of Earth, right before it departed and went on its way outside beyond the planets. Now we are truly an interstellar species. It is for all these reasons that I think it's fair to say that Voyager is the Apollo 11 planetary program.
A flying V ain't just a historic guitar. It's also a model aircraft and a possible glimpse of what's to come. Dutch engineers recently gave this design a test flight. Passengers, fuel, and cargo would all fit inside the wings, and the flying V would theoretically save fuel over the modern tried and true jet design. But it still needs work. It's prone to Dutch roll, which is described as being like ice skating and can lead to rough landings. And of course, the engineers want all the landings to be happy ones, down to the letter. The letter V. So they won't let this V as it is. That could be a mistake. Their V are meant about getting this right, because if it comes to V, it could be another V for aviation. All right. Searcy, Arkansas is where today's show lands. It's where you'll find Searcy High School for a chance to get your school mentioned on CNN 10. Please subscribe and leave a comment on the most recent program at youtube.com/CNN10. I'm Carl Azus.
You can see their show is about 10 minutes, and if they've got time left at the end, they play music and they show pictures and whatever. He barely had time to go ahead and say, hey, I'm Carl Azus. And so as we can stop that and go back here. I have stopped presenting, but we are still recording, and nobody's in here. That's great. What's up, guys? Oh, they should be able to get in here on their own. My online folks, because the link is up in your classroom.
I didn't do it.
Anyway, what are your three big stories that they talked about? The last story with the V airplane is kind of the 10 at 10, so they give a minute of time for that. So what are the other stories? Okay, the elections for sucker. What does a presidential candidate have to win in order to become president? And it's not, don't just say he has to win the election. He has to win something specific.
Votes.
What kind of votes?
From certain states. Presidential.
No, because Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. But Donald Trump became president. He had to win a certain 270 of these. And more than just votes. There's something specific there. Nope, because Democrats will vote for Donald Trump and Republicans will vote for Joe Biden. Yep. And they said it during the section about the elections. No. 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 It has to do with a certain college. Nope. He has to win 270 electoral college votes because we don't in our country count just the popular vote. Otherwise, Hillary Clinton would be the president right now. So because Hillary Clinton didn't win enough electoral college votes, she didn't win the election. The founding fathers put that in there so that stuff like this wouldn't happen. So that Hillary Clinton wouldn't just campaign in New York and California and Texas and Florida and Ohio, places that have tons of people. She would have to come to Iowa. She would have to go to Missouri. She'd have to go to Nebraska and South Dakota, even though there's not a lot of votes there. If she doesn't go to certain places like that, then she can't win electoral college votes. She didn't go to Wisconsin. Wisconsin is over there. She didn't go to Wisconsin, and that cost her the state, which could have very easily cost her the election. And so presidential candidates have to make sure they're making visits all over the place. Donald Trump, our president, has a strategy on how he wants to win, and so does Joe Biden. But they have to win electoral college votes. The second big story, what was it? So we've got the presidential campaign. What else? The wildfires. And the one that struck me, I saw this last night, and then they mentioned it again today. One of the big fires that's out there right now was caused because somebody did a gender reveal party. One of those parties where the couple gets together and they're like, oh, are we having a boy? Are we having a girl? And they do something and it comes up pink or it comes up blue. They used some kind of a firework and it got away from them and it started a fire that, as of last night, had burned 7,000 acres. And so, yeah, when they put out fire bans in Fayette County, when it gets really dry, don't just think I can go burn my garbage or I can do stuff that is going to involve fire, because it poses a huge risk, as those people had found out. So we got the presidential elections, we've got the wildfires in California. What was the third one? Cameron. Okay, the airplane. We talked a little bit about that one. I'm not going to go into that one so much. There's one more in there that dealt with 1977.
Oh yeah, when the launch of these things went into space.
Exactly. These basically almost reconnaissance satellites are taking pictures of different things because Jupiter and Saturn and Neptune were all lined up. They figured this out, and so they put together this $2 billion satellite, shot it into space. It went past, and it took some really cool pictures, and then it kept going. And one of the pictures they showed there was it had gone past Pluto, and it had kind of swiveled itself around and took a picture of Earth way, way, way off in the distance. They said Neptune, some of the pictures they took, is 30 times farther away from the sun than Earth is, and Earth is 93 million miles away from the sun. Neptune is 30 times greater than that. So it's a long ways away, so we don't have a lot of ability to know what's on it and what it looks like and that type of thing. And I loved the statement when she said, it's past Pluto, so we are truly an interstellar species. We've managed to be able to push our stuff out beyond the farthest reaches of our solar system. Now, how many of you believe that satellite has all sorts of stuff in it? It's got information, it's got languages, it's got pictures, it's got sounds. How many of you believe that another type of being could find this thing and figure out some stuff about humans? How many of you believe there's somebody else out there? Oh, not so many hands. How many of you look up at the stars and go, we are the only beings that are amongst the stars? There's nobody else out there amongst billions and billions and billions of stars. See, I don't do that. I look up there and think, yep, there's got to be somebody else out there that's looking up at the stars, their own stars, thinking, gosh, is there somebody else? Is there some different type of species or different type of culture that's out there in the stars looking at our star? Just something that I do. You have 5 minutes to write about the story that you thought was your favorite, and then a story that related back to money. All 4 of these very easily relate back to money, because you've got the wildfires with all the firemen and the equipment used to battle them, and then the money that has to be spent to rebuild everything. You had $2 billion spent on the satellite in today's money sent up in the air. You have the elections that are going to be hundreds of millions of dollars in flyers and TV ads and radio ads and Facebook ads and all that kind of stuff. And then you've got the plane that's going to cost yourself money too. 1, 2, 3, and then we got to go. Maddie, question? Okay, 2. Okay, Lainey, 3.
Doesn't it like do wildfires like cost money? Like with those people that shot off the fire?
That's a really good question, and one I don't know the answer to, because sometimes if you cause a fire, you're responsible for some of the payment there. So if they caused a fire that's burnt 7,000 acres as of last night, it could have killed somebody, but chances are there's been some property damage. I don't know how much they're going to be responsible for there. 5 minutes. On your mark, get set. Get set. Get set. Come on, you can do it. Why are we just spinning? There we go. All right, 5 minutes.
I'm making my
Yeah, I can do something. That's fun. Yeah, you got 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. Okay. You're writing about something that you're interested in, and then why it's of interest to you, and then you're writing about something that deals with money. You're interested in money. Keep your hands on your keyboard, keep typing. You need at least 50 words before we're done. No, it's not a matter of I'm going to check my word count every time. I'm just going to keep typing. You're about halfway done right now, 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
That many? Holy smokes. It's going to take me an hour to teach words.
But we got 5 minutes to do it, so type until the end. Okay, you got about a minute left. You should have at least 40 words at this point.
The plane. You crashed it?
Got about 10 seconds. Last idea, if you aren't done with it already.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, when we talk about as we talk about this, and when we talk about it before we get writing and we remind people of doing this, it's not a, hey, I got 50 words, I stop. You are practicing being able to be fluent on your computers just like you're fluent with your pencils. Because your computer will be your pencil. Now, for some of you, you're looking at this computer going, I can't do this. And so if you have we got stuff we have to get through, and if we can't get through it, we got shorted time with having to take pictures, but well, that's one other thing I have to talk about too. If you are that person that you're like, I can't do this, typing's hard, I'm not going to practice because I don't want to get better, whatever it is. Okay, hands off keyboards, look up here, please. What you can do is you can go to your tools. This isn't even an add-on. I'm pretty sure that you have to put in. This is just simply in Google Docs. Click on voice typing. You can pull this up, and if you have headphones with a speaker or with a microphone, it's really easy to take and do voice to text. This is one of the more accurate things that I've come across, just simply because it doesn't make up words if it doesn't understand them. Yes, Lainey, you're going to have to be able to look at your writing and say, yeah, that doesn't make sense, so go back in and check it. But at the same time, it goes pretty quick. It doesn't hesitate a whole lot in what I'm doing. And so that's what I look for, to be able to go ahead and put down a voice to text type of thing. In the 30 seconds I've been typing, or I've been talking, I should say, come on, there we go. I've put down, what, 131 words. Because we do talk faster than we type. Now, if you don't have the headphones with microphones, no, this isn't going to work. Yes, we can unplug this. If I'm talking in full voice. It'll pick my voice up as I'm doing this like this. But it's going to be a disturbance to other people around you if you don't have something to talk into. So the only way that I will allow this is if you've got that microphone to be able to work. Now, you can go to Dollar General, and I think these things are, I don't know, $5, $6. They're not hugely expensive if you choose to do it this way. If you don't, that's fine. But you have to focus in on what we are doing at the time in getting the words down on the page. 2 things before we leave, because it's almost time to go. 1, the assignment for tomorrow will be posted online later this afternoon. There'll be 2 things that'll be involved. 1 will be a little bit of reading out of your book and a couple of questions. 2 will be either a podcast or a TED Talk, something that you're going to have to listen to and respond to. If those 2 things are done, then you'll be counted as being present in class. My cutoff is probably going to be 4 o'clock, maybe 5 o'clock at the absolute latest in attendance. I got burned in not getting some attendance done, so I'm going to put a kind of a time limit as to this is when it has to take place. 2, most of us have been wearing masks appropriately. And I've said this to each class. Over the weekend, a whole bunch of schools, not necessarily in our area, but there's a lot of schools in Iowa that went to either a totally online, where they weren't meeting face-to-face, or they went to a hybrid where the class would be divided in half. Half of you would come on 3 days, and then you'd stay home 2 days. The other half would stay home 2 days, and then you'd come on 3 days. Wear your mask the right way. That's all I'm going to say. If we can continue to do this, and I've been super impressed with how 6th, 7th, and 8th graders have been doing this. There have been very few people that have fought it. I haven't heard people complain a whole lot about it. It's uncomfortable. They smell. It's hard to breathe when you're doing them. But if we're doing them right, we won't have the issues that other schools do. 1, and then we got to go.
My cousins, they go to New Hampton, and they said the reason why they went to hybrid is because they didn't have to wear their masks all day.
Because they didn't have to wear their masks. There we go. So keep that in mind, please, as you are not liking that, because I don't like it either. My daughters hate it. Got a daughter down in Ames that they're almost completely online because nobody's wearing their masks around the college. So keep that in mind as you're getting ready and putting your masks on in the morning. We got to go. Bye.
Get out of here.
Exactly. Take your social studies books home, because there will be something that you'll have to do out of them. Either that, or you've got the PDF that you can use online as well. Not going to be a ton of reading, so don't worry about that. Spray down tables. What? Yeah.
See how many words you get in a day?
See you Thursday. That's so weird. Oh, I'm not going to see you tomorrow. I'm going to see you Thursday.
Thank you. See you later.
Sure.
I drank all that beer. It was fine.
I can imagine so. This Jeff doesn't want to hear it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See you later. Have a good Wednesday.
Good.
We'll see you on Thursday.
If it's cool, won't be quiet.
That's Elijah.
I hear you're not doing that.
What's wrong?
My sister said she says it in class. How am I holding on to that? Because you have munch and you have some kind of magical munch powers. You have magical munch powers. That power vested in me. Please stay asleep. Wait, it's that. No. Likey, boys. Hey, wait. Maybe it's just my old math. Yeah, it's me. No. I'm gonna go get my closest study. I think it gave her like. I should drink like 5 cups of coffee this morning. I needed that. Flooding hits. I'm not changing it out. Chicken nuggets. Chicken They just made that song stuck in my Yeah, at least I have hair. Oh, shoot.
Yo, Ryan with the shots fired.
Wow.
Nathan should get banned from chicken nuggets and imagine him the next day at school. Last year they had to put, last year they said a joke, so I wasn't smiling. They did, and you smiled.
This year or last year.
Last year I was like this. Yeah, what? Kill, you don't smile on football pictures, but in football pictures you just there.
I don't smile on football pictures. I do. I go laugh.
The lady made me smile in basketball pictures. She's like, you better smile.
Nobody smiles at basketball pictures. She's like, you look a lot better smiling.
Can you listen? No, I wouldn't.
If they're gonna try to make me laugh, I'm just gonna keep it straight.
So you gotta go like, ah!
You gotta go, ha ha ha.
You have to die out laughing. You have to die out laughing and fall off your chair.
And then you have to turn on the ground and then go start bleeding.
Yeah, so you don't skip pictures because you're bleeding.
Yeah.
No, it's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's just like, well, I don't think it's just his face is soaked in blood. I mean, that's fine. I mean, so what? People don't know my face. Maybe they'll think I'm an alien. That's cool. I like that. Why do they let those people still do pictures? Those people they disagree with each other all the time.
I know how they hate they took the movie stuffed animal things and tried to make us smile. Yeah, they're like, we need to get that.
How old do you think we are? Wendy's a two. They're probably 3 years old. Actually, I'm not gonna stare at Teddy guy that's moving. Sorry.
Right down the middle. Yep, crashes out.
Then you shut up.
And after it came in, it's finally coming in after 4 years.
Hey, every time someone takes pictures, they rip off one of their tooths so they don't bleed out. I just got a person.
This is one of my favorites.
Okay. I hope we're
Alex, you're asking, bro.
Alright, as We'll start with close your computers. Don't need them open quite yet. Close your computers, please.
Whoa, are you a dog?
Yeah, he was here. He's here.
Thank you.
No, he's your worst nightmare.
Let's do this. We don't need to keep recording.
Oh my god.
Goodbye.
How do you get that?
Bye.
Stop recording. Good.